Alrighty, folks, here we go. Let's end the show on our picks, baby. Now that we broke down Thursday Night Football, it did kind of go the way that we kind of thought. The Giants' offense was a little bit better overall than we thought it would. We thought the Washington football team would win. We took them -3. Unfortunately, they only win by 1, but overall they won the game. So, well done to Washington. But now let's start talking about our picks for Sunday's action, folks. Last week, week 1, we do six picks every week, folks. Last week, we went 4-1-1. The push was on the 49ers -8. Obviously, they were up by big, but they let that lead flounder, and they only win by 8, so that's a push. And then the one that we lost on officially was Vikings -4, and we won't make that mistake again. We're not betting the Vikings for the entire year. And actually, our best bet of the week is the team that is facing the Vikings. So, yeah. So we're ready to go 6-0 this week. We're ready to get it done. We're ready to win that money. We're ready to give you all that great information. And y'all don't want to be on the shame list come next week when we bet on you and we believe in you and we tell y'all to bet this team because we're feeling real good. Like we said, we do our due diligence. And when you don't kind of do your part, this is a two-way street. We have our faith in our betting on you, and we hype you up with our picks, taking this and this, +3, -3, taking the team. But when you don't do your part of getting it done on the field, we put you on the shame list here. So last week we had 3 players on the shame list: Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, and the 49ers defense all getting on the shame list. But we celebrate the players that do get it done, that, we did our research, our due diligence of believing in you, and then you went out and did it on the field, and we praise it here on the fame list. Xavier Howard, Derek Carr, Ulysses Gilbert, all getting on the fame list for helping us make our picks winners and make them hits, folks. So let's see what this week has in store for us. Here we go. If you're not familiar with our picks, we have 3 picks in 2 sections. The first section is the lock section. You could bet whatever the heck you want because these will definitely hit. These are locks, folks. You cannot lose. Then the 99% guarantees. We feel so strongly confident. We're still betting these. We're still feeling good. We're still taking the action. But there is one thing that maybe we could see potentially, maybe, possibly, potentially going wrong, that maybe potentially hinders the overall outcome of the game, that once again maybe potentially hinders our overall pick, but we still feel confident. So let's start with our locks category, and our first pick in our locks category, and I'm calling this the best bet of the week, folks. You heard it here. Here we go, and I think it's been climbing, so lock in the value when you can. But our first pick in our lock section is Cardinals -4. Folks, we just had our power rankings on Tuesday's show. We put the Cardinals at number 2 in our power rankings. We are not apologizing for that. We are standing very, very firm and tall. I don't think anybody agrees with us. We've been watching everybody else's power rankings come out, and they got the Chiefs and the Bucks and the Rams at 2 and 1 and all that. And yes, that is the easy way out. But folks, did y'all just see what this Cardinals team did? Sheesh, they put up 38 points. They held Derrick Henry to only 58 rushing yards. And if you're telling me that Dalvin Cook is better than Derrick Henry and is going to have more yards against this Cardinals defense, I think you're sadly mistaken. The Cardinals are also at home. So, sheesh. The Vikings absolutely floundered against Joe Burrow on the road. Joe Burrow's first game back. Wasn't there big concerns about this Bengals offensive line the entire offseason? Were they going to be able to, protect Joe Burrow? Why did they go with Jamar Chase, a wide receiver, first in the draft and not shoring up their line? What are they doing? And then the Vikings came out and lost against this team. They lost. How many sacks did they have against the Bengals? They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They had 5 sacks against the Bengals and still lost. 5 sacks is a great amount of sacks. And you still lose the game. And still let Joe Burrow kind of throw all over you. 2 touchdowns, 261 yards, only 7 incompletions. So you didn't rattle Joe Burrow, and you think you're going to be able to get 5 sacks against Kyler Murray, the escape magician, escape artist that is Kyler Murray in the dual threat game? You think you're going to bring him down 5 times? If you do, it obviously has no effect. So this Vikings defense is trash. They gave up 27 points to hobble Joe Burrow. They let Jamar Chase, who did not even catch a ball in the preseason. I know he caught one, folks. This is for dramatic effect. Who did not catch a single pass in the preseason games. They let him catch 5 balls for 101 yards and 1 touchdown? What? You're telling me this Vikings defense is good or this Vikings team is good? Absolutely not. And do we have to tell y'all and remind y'all what this Cardinals wide receiver core did against the Titans on the road, folks? I mean, sheesh, we had DeAndre Hopkins going off. 6 catches, 83 yards, 2 tugs. Christian Kirk, 5 catches, 70 yards for 2 tugs. Randall Moore, their rookie, 4 receptions for 68 yards, still getting it done. So, I mean, folks, they got weapons on weapons on weapons. They are moving the ball 38 points, 4 touchdowns by Kyler Murray. Give that man some respect. Give that man some credit. Cardinals absolutely blow out the Vikings. Vikings are on clutch. They turn the ball over at the worst possible times. Cardinals takes care of the ball. They just beat the Titans, who are way better than the Vikings, and now they are at home, looking to go 2-0 and rocking this season off right and getting ahead in the division, because we know it's a tough one. All teams are going to go 13-4. Every single team in that NFC West will go 13-4, folks. Mark my words. Cardinals are looking out to get out to a 2-0 start. Cardinals -4. They win by 20 easily, no problem. Vikings won't stand a chance against this team. Best bet of the week, Cardinals -4. Alrighty, our second pick in our lock section. We took advantage of the disrespect last week of Dolphins +3.5 on the road against the Patriots. And y'all know what the line is this week for the Dolphins. Dolphins +3 at home against the Bills. It's 3.5 now. This bet has been fluctuating. I want to say, I don't know if I was dreaming this or I truly saw this. I think I did. I want to say the Dolphins reached +4 at one point yesterday. And then by today, this morning, it went back down to +3. And now here we are, 1 o'clock Eastern on Friday. It is now back to 3.5. So we will gobble up that value. Yes, sir. Give me the +3.5. Absolutely. Dolphins +3.5 is our second pick right here. Folks, how many times are we going to cash out with the disrespect of Vegas? Because we're looking to do it again this week. Alrighty, let's talk about this game. Here we go. Dolphins, Tua. Oh my God, so much controversy in the media. Tua's trash. He's so trash. How is he doing this? He's so trash. He's not, blah, blah, blah. Folks, we're getting Will Fuller back, first of all. So watch out for our deep threat passing game. Devonte Parker kind of got it done last week against the Patriots. We just watched him in our Wednesday film study. Great catch down the field and great accuracy once again by Tua. Tua's accuracy is impeccable, folks. No, I mean, he's as good as everybody else in this league accuracy-wise. The top accurate passers in this league. Tua is right up there with them, folks. Watch where he puts the ball. Watch where the man puts the ball. We watch it every Wednesday, so if you need help doing that, you come over to us and we will help you out with that. But Tua's accuracy is impeccable, fantastic. We're getting another weapon back offensively. Last week it was a close game, but what happened with the Dolphins? Their defense comes up big time. Xavier Howard comes up big with the fumble on the Patriots running back James White, I believe, and they win the game because of that turnover. Tua will be able to put up the points at home here, no problem. Bills, what was their biggest struggle last week? The defense, the Steelers kind of clamping up everybody. Josh Allen not being able to kind of feel safe in the pocket. We saw, the edge rushers for the Steelers chase around Josh Allen the entire game, and you're telling me that this Dolphins defense can't do the same, especially with these great corners and safeties that we have to lock up these wide receivers. So if Stephon Diggs isn't able to get open, maybe Josh Allen isn't the best out there. This Bills defense, is it anything great? I don't know if it's going to be any better than what the Patriots did, and the Dolphins found out a way to win the game. Now the Bills are on the road with the division game here, threatening to go down 0-2. Big pressure is on the Bills. We'll see if Josh Allen, with the fans in the stands, the crowd noise, we'll see if he's able to live up to the hype that he set for himself last season. They didn't really live up to week 1, and now the fans are calling for his head. That's what happens in Buffalo. If you're not winning every single week, the fans, they get a little restless out there. Even with Josh Allen, they're starting to get a little restless, and it seemed like he could do no wrong last season. It seemed like he was going to be the savior, a la the next Jim Kelly, where he could literally kill somebody, and everybody would be like, Oh, yeah, he did nothing wrong. Why? You're arresting him for murdering somebody? Do you know what Jim Kelly has done for the city? He could kill 100 people. We do not care. He's good. He's fine. He's not going to jail. All 12 jury members say not guilty. Jim Kelly walks, slaughtering 100 people. It doesn't matter. Josh Allen was kind of living up to that last season. The fans were all clamoring for him, and now week 1, everyone wants his head on a stick and says that this man can't play, and it was a one-hit wonder. So Josh Allen, a lot of pressure to succeed. We'll see if he goes out there, if he kind of plays with his head a little bit. Also, the Dolphins just got absolutely smacked. When I mean smacked, folks, I mean absolutely obliterated, smacked last year in the the game to go to the playoffs, the last game of the season for the Dolphins, where if they win, they are in, and they went to Buffalo and got absolutely smacked, folks. I mean, sheesh, you don't think that they've got this game circled on their calendar when they're at home and can take a little bit more of an advantage because they've got the home field advantage, and you're telling me that they're +3? Sheesh, absolute disrespect. I'm believing 100% in this Dolphins team. I believe 100% in Tua. Our weapons, our passing game will be even better than what it was last week, and this Bills offense and defense, I think, is a little lackluster out of the gate. Dolphins +3.5. Watch out for Tua. Don't buy the media narrative that this man cannot play football. Alrighty, and then our last pick in our locks section is going to be Rams -3.5. Alrighty, folks. Alright, our early Super Bowl prediction was Rams-Colts. This is what we've got. We do have the Colts winning the Super Bowl, though. But after week 1, I did not like anything I saw out of the Colts, and we broke this down on Monday, folks. I mean, Carson Wentz truly not 100% getting it done. The run game was the best thing about the Colts. The run game was the best in the run game and in the pass game as well, which is really nothing you want to see. Michael Pittman Jr. did not step up to the occasion of being kind of the number 1 wide receiver, or really kind of theoretically he should have been the number 1 wide receiver here. On paper, Michael Pittman Jr. should be the number 1 wide receiver, but we see him only catch Michael Pittman Jr. 3 catches for 29 yards. We had Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines catching 60 and 48 yards. So Carson Wentz dunking to the running backs, relying on the running game way too much right here. So we need Carson Wentz to kind of start airing it out. They still don't have T.Y. Hilton, and that's going to affect the passing game again this week. They only put up 16 points, and I didn't like the way they were moving the ball and how Carson Wentz was looking out there with the dink and dunk. And then on the other hand, who's across the field? Who's playing opposite Carson Wentz for the Rams? Mother-loving Matthew Stafford, and we know what he did. The man was slinging the ball around, folks, in game number 1. I mean, first game with the Rams, oh my God, on a primetime game. Yes, they were at home, but they were still getting it done. 321 yards on 20 completions, folks, for 3 touchdowns. Matthew Stafford was slinging the ball around. Sean McVay was utilizing his new toy in Matthew Stafford. He's like, I knew. Did y'all not know I could do this, that I could play call like this, that I can assemble an offense like this? I had Jared Goff with me, and I got to the Super Bowl. You give me Matt Stafford. Stop playing with my name. I'm Sean McVay out here. So we are big believers in this Rams team after week 1. Truly blew out the Chicago Bears. The Rams defense only held them to 7 points, picked off Andy Dalton once, made him force a fumble. It was only kind of Justin Fields kind of in the dual threat game, kind of, decently beating the Rams defense overall. Now Carson Wentz is nowhere near Justin Fields level athletic-wise. So that's not going to be a problem here and an issue here for the Rams. So Rams on the road. Now, this is a big game for the Colts because they really don't want to fall down 0-2, and now they're on Hard Knocks. And we thought, we just saw that announced at the halftime of Thursday Night Football's game last night. Colts are going to have an in-season season of Hard Knocks this year starting November. So that's a little weird. What team actively invites Hard Knocks in the middle of the season? Nobody even wants to be on Hard Knocks for the preseason. Nobody even wants to give away their training camp stuff. And now teams are actively inviting Hard Knocks in for the middle of the season. It seems real weird, folks, and it really kind of, I have a bad taste in my mouth now for this Colts team. So I don't know what they think they're doing by doing this. Bill Belichick would never take these cameras in the locker room, especially in the middle of the season. Sean McVay would not take these cameras in the locker room. Bruce Arians would not take these cameras in the locker room. But Frank Reich and the Colts are. I just don't get it. But we digress on that. But this Rams team, folks, absolutely believing them offensively, defensively. This Colts team offensively getting out to a slow start. I just thought Carson Wentz would have this offense under him a little bit better. But, dinking and dunking to these running backs. And then Michael Pittman Jr. really not kind of emerging week one, leaving a bad taste in our mouth here for this Colts team offensively. I've got no bad taste in my mouth here with Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford. It's only good taste in this mouth over here when I'm talking about this Rams team, folks. So I'm believing 100% in this Rams. They go on the road here against the Colts. A huge, great test here for what this Rams team actually is. I mean, let's be real. Last week against the Bears were trash, folks. We know this. They've got no great weapons here. This Colts team has lackluster weapons since T.Y. Hilton is out and nobody emerged here week one. The running game here for the Colts should be good. It should be good. I've got no problem with saying that they could be able to move the ball, rushing the ball here. But let's see what the Rams defense did. Okay, that might not be great. They gave up 108 yards to David Montgomery. So running back by committee here may beat the Rams defense, but when they don't have to worry about Carson Wentz slinging the ball all over the field, they may be able to just hone in and focus on stopping the run game here. And maybe that's what the game plan was all along this week. So we'll see what the Rams come out and do. But when it comes to offenses, this Rams one, this is top tier. And watch for it to explode. It's also in a dome, comfortable setting, basically home for this Rams team. They were in a dome there in SoFi Stadium in LA. So, man, oh man, Rams in a dome. Sheesh. Watch out for Matt Stafford to still light it up. Rams -3. Alrighty, so our picks in our lock section are Cardinals -4, Dolphins +3.5, Rams -3.5. Alrighty, now let's move over to our 99% guarantee section. Feeling so great about these, but could potentially see one bad thing, potentially maybe possibly going wrong that maybe potentially possibly hinders our bet. So here we go. 3 picks in our 99% guarantees, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is, folks, and this value even climbed in the last hour, and I love it. We will take the value. So we are going to put our money where our mouth is this week, folks. We have been talking up the Texans big and how they're handling and managing the attention and the distraction that is, unfortunately, Deshaun Watson. They are separating Deshaun Watson from this Texans team overall, and I absolutely love it, folks. I absolutely love it. I think they're doing an impeccable job of keeping the two narratives separate so the Texans can go out there and not have this monkey on their back this entire season, this nagging question. Are you trading Deshaun Watson? Are you really want 3 first-round picks? Do you really want 3 second-round picks? Is he going to jail? Is he going to be on your team? Is he going to play? Is he going to suit up? They are not even really, this is not even a distraction for this Texans team. They're doing such a great job with it, and that's why we are going to take the Texans +13 this week. Now, I don't think the Texans win this game. I don't think they're there quite yet, but I do believe they can be very competitive in this game. Maybe lose by 7, lose by 10, but competitive nonetheless. Now, let's take a look at what the Texans did week 1. Tyrod Taylor, first time with the team, once again put up 37 points, folks. 37 points. Now, they were at home and they faced the Jaguars. I get all that, folks. This Browns team is 100% better than the Jaguars. I get it. But I believe this Texans team offensively can be competitive. If Baker Mayfield gets out to not a hot start, maybe Baker Mayfield is thinking, hey, the Texans are coming to town. This is an easy win. Maybe, gets a little bit of ahead of himself here and he doesn't come out strong. Well, we know Baker Mayfield is not a closer and is not a clutch quarterback. So if this game is close, watch for the Texans to close it out close as well. They will not let Baker Mayfield beat them in the clutch. So, don't think the game is going to be close. Baker Mayfield can't win close games. Or Baker Mayfield can't kind of, we saw him last week against the Chiefs, get out to a hot start. But then once, the Chiefs started to come back, he kind of floundered a little bit, turned the ball over, couldn't get it done when he needed to. That could exactly happen here against this Texans team. They had the offense to keep up with the offense of the Browns. Tyrod Taylor slinging it around, 291 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. His running game, 40 yards. The running back by committee here by the Texans is fantastic. Mark Ingram, first game 85 yards rushing, fantastic. Then we had Phillip Lindsay, 8 carries for 25 yards, and we still have David Johnson, folks. They have great running backs right here. They have a great serviceable quarterback. They've got great wide receivers. Brandon Cooks, 132 yards. Pharaoh Brown, 67 yards. Danny Amendola, 34 yards, a touchdown. I mean, they are getting it done offensively. Now, defensively, they are going to have to kind of step it up. Yes, they got 3 turnovers by Trevor Lawrence, but those were all arid throws by him. So, once again, Baker Mayfield can potentially, get a little late, lackadaisical, a little arid in his passing game, especially when it's a close, tight game, because he's not clutch. We just saw that. We kind of officially set that as our narrative and as our take on Wednesdays, when we were breaking down the game earlier this week. We officially said Baker Mayfield's not clutch, and we've seen a time again that we can certifiably say that. So, if it's a close game, watch for, this Texans team to be able to create some turnovers. They've got to get more pressure defensively for this Texans team. I mean, they only sacked Trevor Lawrence once, which is a little bit of a a little bit of a question mark here for this Texans team. We know the Browns defense is very, very good, but when we look at what the Browns did, I mean, Tyrod Taylor, Patrick Mahomes, both dual threat quarterbacks right here, and the Browns just really weren't able to get to Patrick Mahomes. They sacked him twice, so they're not going to be able to get that pressure on Tyrod Taylor because he's just going to escape the pocket. So dual threat quarterbacks hindering this Browns defense overall. I think it's a close game, folks. I'm not saying the Texans are going out and winning this game. I think they keep it competitive. I think they keep it close. Tyrod Taylor in this offense. This is not a distracted Texans team. This is a solid, in the middle of a rebuild Texans team that does not want to lose and does not want to get blown out. Texans plus 13. I think it's amazing value, and we're going to believe in this narrative that the Texans are so sound fundamentally and just kind of not letting any noise and distractions inside that locker room. I think they got a tight ship over there in Houston, and we'll see it in week 2 when they go on the road against the Browns. Texans plus 13. Alrighty, our second pick in our 99% guarantee section. Man, these lines are fluctuating crazy, folks. I can't believe this. Literally, everything that we've been talking about today has literally, moved. I mean, Dolphins are at 3.5, Texans at 13 now, and this next one has moved a half a point, once again, in our favor, so we will definitely take that value. Here we go. Pick number 2 in our 99% guarantee section is going to be Saints minus 3. It was Saints minus 3.5. Now it's back down to Saints minus 3. Lock in that value when you can, folks. It moves. It is fluctuating crazy today. I've never seen movement like this, just all across the board. It's kind of crazy. But Saints minus 3 here. All right, Saints on the road here against Carolina. But last week they were on the road as well. They weren't at home, and they still absolutely slaughtered it. Got it done. Sheesh, folks, sheesh. They put up 38 points, no problem. Now, the only kind of question mark or a little concern, not even a concern, it's just a thing that we saw that correlated, and we said it. So, Jameis Winston only throwing for 148 yards with 5 touchdowns, but we watched him in our Wednesday film study. Accurate as heck in the red zone. So Alvin Kamara can get them in the red zone. Jameis Winston can even get them in the red zone. We saw him, absolutely fling the thing 60 yards all through the air, 55 yards through the air, no problem for a touchdown. So we know he's got the big arm. We know he's working on his finesse in the red zone, so we can expect touchdowns and not settling for field goals when we talk about the Saints team, which is great. The defense only held the Packers to 3 points. Call it great Saints defense, or just call it, Aaron Rodgers not into the game, which we do know that is sometimes the case with Aaron Rodgers. We see his heart not in it, and he doesn't look good, and he only puts up 3 points and throws multiple interceptions. We've seen a couple of games there by Aaron Rodgers doing that, so that's not out of the realm of what Aaron Rodgers does. But either way, you hold the team to 3 points. I don't care who the hell is on that team. That's a great freaking win defensively. Absolutely. So well done there by the Saints. And when we look at what this Panthers team is, our concerns, they left the door open. Yes, they got out to a solid start, getting out to 16-0 lead here against the Jets, but they let them almost come back. Sam Darnold not taking the opportunity to shut the door, and that's what we watched on Wednesday with our film study. Sam Darnold not picking up those first downs here in the third quarter, going 3 and out on 3 consecutive drives right there, basically 3 and out, not moving the ball, not taking any time off the clock, and, leaving the door open for the Jets to potentially come back. So if you leave this door open for the Saints to come back, Jameis Winston is going to take that. Alvin Kamara is going to take that. Sean Payton will scheme to take that advantage, no doubt. So I can't buy Sam Darnold. Christian McCaffrey's the only good weapon here on this Panthers team. Leading rusher, leading receiver, classic Christian McCaffrey. So Sam Darnold dinking and dunking. The Saints are going to eat that up. And the Panthers, they only put up 19 points. I mean, is that anything great? I mean, we say it all the time. If you're not putting up 20 plus points, do not expect to win the game. And the Panthers, in a close one against the Jets, almost didn't win the game. So I can't believe in the Panthers and Sam Darnold to put up that many points. Jameis Winston is looking absolutely fantastic out here, looking to sling the ball around. Yes, the Saints are on the road, which isn't anything great, but they don't need home to be good. Sam Darnold didn't really take advantage of being at home last weekend. Couldn't really score in the second half. Couldn't really move the ball in the second half. They were at home. So, Saints -3. I have no buyability in Sam Darnold. He will leave the door open. If the Carolina Panthers get out to a 14-0 lead, it doesn't matter. They will not close the door. Sam Darnold cannot close the door on anybody. The man cannot prove to do that. So the man is 4 seasons in, has never closed the door on anybody. So, and didn't do it last week against the who they face. We just had it up. And they didn't do that last week against the Jets. So I'm taking the Saints here. I'm believing in Jameis Winston. The man can get it done. Saints -3. And then our last pick right here. And I know I don't know, folks. I don't know if anybody's agreeing with me on this pick right here, but I'm going to give this team another chance. It's not even a chance. I'm just buying into this team a little bit. I love their offense. So here we go. We're taking, for our last pick, we're going to take the Cowboys +3.5. And, of course, this one doesn't move any. I could have taken another half a point here, a full point. Give me 4.5. Sheesh. So this one doesn't move. Oh, okay. I would have loved Cowboys +4 here. But we're still sticking with Cowboys +3.5. This offense was so impressive on Thursday, folks. So damn impressive that I can't not take them here. I'm taking the Cowboys +3.5. Now, I know their defense, DeMarcus Lawrence is out, and that was a huge piece for them, leadership-wise, on-field talent-wise. I get all that. That's going to be a huge missing piece. What this Cowboys did impressive was, just being ball hawks, and we saw it in preseason, and it came out on Thursday Night Football last week as well. Just able to force those turnovers. Tom Brady, 2 interceptions. I believe somebody fumbled here. Yeah, Chris Godwin fumbled, and Ronald Jones fumbled. So they're just ball hawks here defensively for the Cowboys, but they don't always get the stop when they need it. They let the Bucs go down and have the game-winning field goal drive, unfortunately. But they are always surrounding the ball and have that opportunity to force turnovers. We saw it in preseason game number 1 and preseason game number 2, forcing turnovers there. They did it against the Bucs on the road. I think they can force a couple of turnovers here against the Chargers. Now, this Chargers team did a solid job against a good defense last week when they had to face Washington in Washington. They put up 20 points. Justin Herbert put up 337 yards, but he also threw an interception. So once again, we can see a potential turnover or 2 here with the Cowboys, and they will take advantage and score because we know the offense here for the Cowboys is the best thing about this team. Dak Prescott throws for 400 yards on Thursday Night Football on the road against this Bucs defense. I mean, we got to give credit to this Cowboys offense overall. Ezekiel Elliott should be able to run the ball a little bit better here. Zach Martin, the right guard, is back. I believe they lost another offensive lineman this week. Let me see if I can double check that quickly. But regardless, the running game should be back a little bit more since we know Zeke likes to run up the right side and all that. Lael Collins is out with a suspension, the tackle spot. So you get one one lineman back, you lose another one. Unfortunate there, but the running game should be able to kind of be very, very good. And what did this Chargers team kind of give up offensively last week? Kind of rushing yards. Antonio Gibson, who, we don't classify as a tier 1 running back just quite yet. We did kind of, we broke down the game earlier today and we kind of said, hey, he's emerging, trying to get into tier 1 status, and we've got no problem with that. But, Antonio Gibson rushed for 90 yards against the Chargers last week. So Ezekiel Elliott can definitely try and definitely put up around those same numbers right there. So if they rely on the running game, force a couple of turnovers, Dak Prescott, there's never a question with him. It's a potential there. And, this Chargers team, their offense is still a little bit of a question mark. Last season, never blowing out a team, losing those close games. That's why they got rid of, Anthony Lynn. Now another close game right here last week for the Chargers against Washington, and they win it, so they can win the close games, but it's still close games overall, never really blowing out anybody. So I believe in Justin Herbert. I think he's great. I believe in this Chargers team overall. I think they're great, but I think this Cowboys offense is really going to surprise people and give this Chargers team an overall run for their money. I'm getting this Cowboys team with extra rest, folks. They played Thursday. They had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 extra days of rest to prepare for this Chargers team. They were able to watch the Chargers game. I'm sure they were watching that game. Every player right there watching it live, seeing what's going down, seeing what's happening, seeing what they should be looking out for, seeing what they did well and shutting it down. Extra time to prepare here for the Cowboys. I think they iron out all their kind of injuries, and they come out and surprise a lot of people. I'm taking the 3.5 here by the Cowboys. The half-a-point hook is absolutely fantastic. So Chargers win by field goal. You still win the bet with 3.5 points right there. This Cowboys offense, I'm such a believer in it. They made me such believers in it in game number 1 that I believe it's truly able to carry over in game number 2 here with all that extra rest. And watch out for this Cowboys defense to kind of shore it up a little bit with all that time that they've had to prepare for this game. Ball hawks defensively for the Cowboys. Force a couple of turnovers, and we're going to take the 3.5 points. So our 3.99% guarantees are Texans plus 13, Saints minus 3, and Cowboys plus 3.5, folks. Secure the value when you can. Do not let these numbers go back down. I don't know if they'll go up anymore because they've already been going up all day. So watch the value, folks. Secure it when you feel it's right and make some money this week because we are trying to do that and trying to go 6-0.